What's going down, guys? It's your boy Zero Capital, bringing you some Domination gameplay on the map Drive-In. And I actually was looking through my PC, trying to clear up some hard drive space, searching here, searching there, figuring out what files I could keep, what files I should delete. Like I said in my previous video, I'm going to be making some NBA 2K11 gameplays, and they take a lot of hard drive space to capture. But I stumbled upon this video, and I was like, yo, why did I not post this video up? And I got this gameplay on the first day of the map pack release. And since this is the first time you're seeing a drive-in commentary on this channel, I'm going to talk about the map a little bit, give general thoughts as well as some tips and tricks on how to get a better score. But before I get into that, I got to talk about Nuketown. In the trailer for the map pack, Treyarch compared Nuketown and this map. It said they were very similar. And if you remember Nuketown, it's basically two buildings facing each other with a center trailer. If you take all four sides of that map and stretch them out, you basically have drive-in. One of the buildings is replaced with a movie screen. The trailers move to the side of the map, and in the center of the map you have some burned out cars and other obstacles you can use as cover. And on this side of the map that we're at right now, this is the food building. And this is a two-story building, which is a hot spot for campers. It's basically camper paradise. If you want to eat some camper jerky, hit this place up. Throw some nades up here, throw some flashes, throw some stuns. Don't sprint around corners because most likely you're going to be running into a claymore. And you're going to get quite frustrated, just like whoever left the game host migration within a minute and 30 seconds. At least it's a quick host migration. Sometimes it takes quite some time. I end up not getting host. No host pro like 402 Thunder would say. And it doesn't really matter because my shots are still hitting, and that it's kind of funny because it reminds me of the show called Pure Ponage. It's about this guy who plays RTSs and a friend, FPS Doug, who's really into FPS shooters. And he says some crazy stuff like, my heart's beating, my hands are shaking, but I'm still shooting. And it's like, boom, headshot, boom, headshot, boom, headshot, boom, headshot. He goes nuts. And the videos, he's like running around with a knife because he can like run faster with his knife out. You guys gotta check it out. I'll put it in the description. Now we're at the C-Dom, which is behind the movie screen. I'm using the mound of dirt on the C-Dom as kind of a head glitch and just pointing my crosshairs right toward that hangar building, killing a bunch of people. The movie screen is also a hot spot. There's usually someone up there, so be careful. And of course, this hangar building that I'm killing people running out of is also a hot spot because it has two stories. And the second story has a little platform where you can snipe from. You can see the main building, also the center of the map, like B-Dom's quite visible, so be careful people there as well. And also this trailer right here, make sure to throw grenades in there before you go in, just like I did. Hit that guy with the nade right at his feet, so he was totally flashed and stunned. I got the easy kill. Now, we run around the map one full circle, so you guys have seen what the map looks like. Now I'm going to talk about my thoughts about the map. And I would say, I would give, this map probably a 8.5 out of 10. At first, I was like more into Hangar 18, thought that map was better than this, but I think this map is the best one on the map pack. And look at that, I'm throwing a nade over to try to nade B, and this is bathroom area is also a hot spot. And speaking about the nades, right, the problem with Nuketown, right, is you could spawn, you could nade, you spawn, you would nade, and you were basically rewarded for spawning and nading. On this map, at least, when you spawn at A and C, you have to run a couple steps before you can nade B, so it kind of prevents that. But you can still nade B from anywhere on the sides of the map, so it's kind of like a tactical thing. And this map, it just keeps the whole small map feel, but it's big enough where it's not totally lame. So that's one of the reasons why I like it, and it's just very dynamic for game modes such as Team Deathmatch and Domination. It's a lot of fun. Look at this guy trying to tube me, and I spray him down with the FAMAS, getting the Cujos. And now I'm going to hit up this other guy who's trying to cap my flag, and I pick him off. Got the SR-71 in the air, so easy pickings. And general strategy is very simple. Be careful when you're at the hotspot areas. Keep your back to the edges of the map, and you're going to do well. And that's pretty much it. Alright, now I'm going to talk about a real topic. And this is a conversation I had a while back with someone that I used to play PC games with. And we're chilling, bullshitting about life and all sorts of shit. I think there's... those types of conversations are probably the best ones. You get to know each other, it gets deep, it gets real. So we're talking about what do you want to do with your life? Like, what are your aspirations, your goals? Like, what do you want to be? And I was talking about how certain people, their path in life is just very linear. You know, they have elementary school, middle school, high school, college, graduate, get a job, have kids, get married, whatever. And it's just like a straight arrow path. And for certain people like myself, it's kind of a zigzag. They're, you know, and it's like all over the map, all over the place. And it gets to the point where you have no idea what you want to do, no idea what you can do. And sometimes you just feel like you're not even on the path anymore. You're off in the motherfucking forest, and you're totally lost. Like, you have no idea what's going on. You have no idea what you want to do. And that can happen, and you need a compass and a map to get back to the right path. And this compass and map can come from many things, such as something you see, something you read about, something you hear about, all sorts of stuff. Maybe something that even inspires you, or somebody that even inspires you. And my favorite basketball player of all time said it best, and it's Michael Jordan, by the way. He said, some people want it to happen, some wish it could happen, and others make it happen. And that's probably the best advice ever to everybody about everything. I mean, I wish I could follow it. It's hard. It's difficult, you know? But speaking of like going to high school and all sorts of stuff, I used to be late to school every day, and it got pretty bad. You have to wake up at like 7 in the morning, 6:30 in the morning, get to school by 7:45. I was always late. I am not a morning person. Look at that terrible flash right there. Or terrible stun. Good thing I didn't die. That would have been annoying. I'm just not a morning person. I would show up to school with my socks and shoes in my hands, and my shirt was all buttoned fucked up, and my hair wasn't combed. I'd have to like comb it in my locker and stuff. So when I was a senior, I realized that you could sign your own late notes if you're 18. And I was one of the lucky ones that was actually 18. I felt really bad for the ones that are 17 and they couldn't do it themselves. But when you're late, you have to show up to the principal's office and talk to the secretary who would like sign a note, giving you an excuse or whatever. And what happened is I was going to this SAT class, and I was talking to some kid there, and he's like, oh, where do you go to school? And I told him, he's like, oh, my mom works at that school, and she's the principal's secretary. I was like, really? I see her all the time. And apparently he told his mom, right? And the next time that I actually talked to her, which was the next time I had school, like the next Monday or whatever, she was like, oh, are you the, you know, so-and-so that my son was talking to in his SAT class? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, okay, we're going to make this a lot easier. You're 18, right? And I was like, yep. She just gave me an extra pad of late notes. She just handed me the pad. She's like, okay, this is going to make it easier for me, make it easier for you. You know, basically, it's just good for the both of us. She just gave me the pad of notes, and I started signing my own late notes, so I wouldn't have to go to her office anymore. And it actually turned out to be a good thing, a really good thing, because if you're absent or late for a certain amount of times, you have to make the days up, and you can't graduate school. You can't graduate unless you go to summer school if it's like really that bad. And I came really close to like that bad, because when I was a senior, I got into college, and I was like, fuck it, like, what does it matter anymore? I'm gonna goof off, I'm gonna have fun. And I was going to like LAN centers and playing video games, going to people's houses and hanging out, like going to the mall and stuff, like during the school hours. Pretty much just not doing what I was supposed to. I had fun, but I wouldn't recommend it. So I was signing notes by myself, and I really want to thank that lady. I don't know why I went off on this tangent about high school. I guess it's because we were talking about the linear path or whatever, but I don't remember her name anymore. It was too long ago, but I want to thank her, because without her and her pad of notes, I wouldn't have graduated. I would have had to make up the time. I probably would have lost my scholarship to school, and all sorts of bad stuff would have happened. So thank you for understanding that I was just not a morning person, and it was hard for me to wake up. I really appreciate it, and yeah, that's the way to go. And speaking of like the whole linear path thing, if you're trying to get back on the path, just keep your head up, stay positive, and it's going to happen. Hopefully. You know, it might take some time, but it will happen. Anyways, this gameplay is wrapping up. We end up winning by a pretty big lead, 201 to 116. I end up going 54-4 with 5 caps, 3 defends. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, you should like and favorite, and stay tuned for more. Peace out.